shoulder warm up for pull. First is you want to elevate your heart rate. I personally like jumping jacks, but you like jog in place or like do some sort of like free form dance. But I think jumping jacks are literally the easiest one to do. So I do like 15 to 20. Nice. Then we're going to start with our neck and do some neck circles, but I don't really want them to be like floppy, kind of like rush neck circles, but similar to the neck cars that we've been doing. So looking, rotating, finding all of the fun spots in our neck, and then collecting data about what parts of our neck is sore or not feeling the same as the other side. And then switch directions. And for some reason, every time I switch directions, the first one is always really awkward. And does it feel any different going this way compared to the other side? Same thing, 3 to 5. And then we'll move on to our scapular cars, just standing up. So same thing as we've done in the past, making sure that we're hitting all of our available range of motion on each side, not having our ribs flare. Three to 5 or so going forward, and then reverse. Fighting through the sticky spots, seeing if you can feel if one shoulder blade is moving a little bit different than the other. And then we'll move on to our actual shoulder car. So tacking those ribs down with a hand on the rib cage. This is to keep you from having your thoracic spine / rib cage come along for the ride. Up, rotate, go into extension, and reverse back. Depending upon the day, if like things are feeling like already pretty warm for whatever reason, I'll do more on the like 3 end. But if I'm noticing like, man, my shoulders just feel like stiff or really like not the greatest, then I'll do a few more just to give it a little bit more love. And then I like to think of what motions am I going to be doing during my workout. Depending upon the pull day, and if you know what your preset things are, there's a lot of like pushing and pulling, and then rotation. So I think the easiest one to start with is rotation, and I'm going to go kind of at an angle so my arms don't get cut off. One palm will be up, one palm will be down, and you'll rotate between the two. So you're just flipping your wrists up and down, rotating your shoulders. And if you want to get some like rib and like lower body kind of hip stuff involved, you can do moving, or you could literally just have it come from your shoulder. Whatever feels good for you. From there, we'll go into like a pulling motion. So arms up overhead, letting our shoulder blades wrap around our rib cage as we come up. And then acting like we're going to do a pull-up, bend the elbows, depress the scapula. So from the back, we're up, we're going to bend the elbows to start, and then let our shoulder blades come down into the back pocket. I like to do closer to 10 of these and really go through the entire range of motion. So up and squeeze down. And once you've done 10 of those, we'll go into a T, and we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and then relax and squeeze and relax. And 10 of these. Then by this point, my shoulders are usually like a little bit tired, so I will take a break. We can move on to some rib cage, like mobilization, side to side, forward and back, kind of hip rollies for a second, just to give your shoulders a moment. And then we'll grab a band. I like the red loopy one for most things. Sometimes having a longer one can make it like a little bit easier, but we're gonna put it under our foot, keeping our palm facing forward. We're going to, facing backwards. So back of the hand facing towards you. We'll go forward for 10. And then to the side. And then rotate so your palm is facing towards your leg, and then go out to the side again. And then rotate to the starting position and push back. And then same thing on the other side. Forward. Side. Rotate your palm, side again. And then backwards. From there, we can grab some yoga blocks. Place them on either side of your butt, like this. And then depending on how your wrists feel, you might want to put it so that your wrists are not like this, but like curled over the edge of the yoga block. Just do what feels good to you. And then press up and down. And we'll do 10 of these. Nice. And then grab your band again, and we will wrap it around a foot. And we're gonna do a rowing motion, so pull in. And I'll try to angle from the side. And then same thing on the other side. 10. And 10 is like a soft recommendation. If you do 8 and you feel good, or you feel like you need to do 12, that's just fine too. And then this is the one that I think is kind of awkward with a loopy band. A longer band is a little bit easier because you can like sit on it and press up. In 1 second, I'll grab a longer one so you can see what I mean. But if you just have the loopy band, you're gonna grab it like this and then press up and back down. And then try to keep your elbow in a straight line. That last one was not the greatest example. And then on the other side, I'll show you with a longer band. So if you have a longer band, you can sit on one end of it and then grab and press up. Both of them work, just whatever is more convenient for you. From there, I like to do a little extra serratus work because that's a muscle that most of us have a little bit of problems with. There's a few different exercises. I go back and forth between blending the two. So a serratus push-up, your hands and knees, elbows are pretty locked. You're going to let your chest sink forward and then press up. Sink and press. You can do this in a full push-up position if you would like. A few things to be aware of. A lot of times we have a tendency to lead with our chin and then come back. So try to keep your chin in the same position. So a little bit of a double chin and just let your chest go. It can be quite hard. My other favorite serratus one is a little bit of a pushback. So we'll come in to that hands and knee position where your elbows bend. You want those facing towards your fingers. So not facing towards each other, but if you were to bend your elbows, they'd have to bend like back towards your body. Keeping that rotation, push the ground away and then sink your butt towards your heels while maintaining that rotation. And then the second that you feel one of your arms come in, or even look, a lot of times I have to look, that's your stopping point. So push up, watch them, keep the press, and sink your butt back. If you are doing these correctly, they are quite challenging. So I can usually only do 3 to like maybe 4 before I start doing any like upper body stuff. And then the last one that I like to do is a little bit more of an overhead push. The bands are really great, but the band versus our body weight is slightly different. So into a down dog and then let your shoulders sink and press. Sink and press. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not a very big movement. Basically, I'm just doing this overhead to really get that engagement in. And your shoulder blade should be up and wrapped in this position. And it's just like a little tiny like shrug position or movement from the down dog. That's my pretty intensive shoulder warm up. So if you have any questions about it, please let me know.